Okay, this is for all you recappers out there who like to do recap vintage sets as part of your repair process. Be careful. If you do mass recaps, especially on hand-wired chassis, point-to-point, where you don't have the advantage of a printed circuit board preventing wiring errors, you can really goof things up. Anyway, let's start right here. This is the first video. I'm sorry, this is the video out. Here's the first video. Here's the video detector. What I'm looking for is right here, C30. That guy right there. Essentially goes from the plate lead of the 6AU6 video to the grid of the video out. You note this 820 resistor here connects to pin 5 and to the 0.05. Okay, 820, pin 5, 0.05. Further demonstrate this. C30 is this guy right here. This capacitor right here that sits under this resistor. You'll notice this black lead. That's probably some spaghetti that covers this lead so it doesn't inadvertently touch this terminal strip. And this happens to be pin 5 of that video out, and there's the 820 resistor. Now let's look at our subject, our recapping subject. Okay, what we've seen here, well, first of all, let's look at the scope. Interesting. Right now I'm showing one has a 1 volt division, that's a 10 volt division. So this is a 10-fold increase, and it's inverted as you expect in a typical amplifier. And what I'm actually looking at here is the grid input to the first video, and where I'm clipped onto is that capacitor, which is this yellow guy right down in here. I know this is really hard to see. Well, you can't really see. I'll just try to see if I can get it. I have it pretty much centered. That's that 0.05 cap I'm talking about. That coil above it here is that load coming off the plate lead of the video out. Now, remember that little piece of spaghetti that wrapped around? Well, it's not. In fact, what I've clipped onto here, well, that's clipped onto that terminal strip that I said you're supposed to avoid. That capacitor lead, which is right, very hard to see, should have been connected to right there with that 820 and pin 5. In fact, you can see a little piece of wire sticking out that seems to go off into nowhere. So instead of hooking up the output, in this case the 10 volt, see, that's that top one, which is 10 volt peak to peak, instead of hooking that up to the grid of the video out, it goes some God knows place where it's not supposed to. Now let's take a look at what is going to the grid, which is right here. I've now connected up to pin 5, which is that 820 resistor of the 6K6 video out tube. And what do we have over here? Oh wow. Remember how this guy was the big one? There we go. 100 millivolts. Fabulous. So we had a 10-fold decrease. And I think the only reason you're even seeing that is because some leakage back through that 820. And I'll bet you it's not even inverted. Let's see. That's hard to tell. Looking at that, yeah, I guess it's still inverted. Anyway, I think what's happening here is some leakage, because that 820, if you follow the schematic, this 820 here, remember this cap is gone, it's not hooked up. So all the drive that's going to that 6K6 right here is this 820, which goes through another 100K here. There's a 39K to ground, that's killing some of it. And then you have another 470 that finally gets up here to the original 1 volt input into the 6AU6. Remember, that's that 470 that I'm clipped onto. So the plan here now, and where it is clipped to, by the way, let's find out where it is clipped to. That .05 cap we're looking at is right here, by the way. So essentially what we've done is we've taken this cap here, break this lead right here, get rid of that, take this cap, connected it over to here. Well, so I guess maybe the CRT was getting some drive this way. I don't know what it was doing. That might have explained why it was inverted. If it was getting a signal from there, then this would be phase inverted, which would make a negative picture. Anyway, I'm going to have to correct this and see what happens next. But again, if you're doing recaps, if you're doing shotgun recaps, do the next guy a favor. Do it right. Be really careful. Try not to do too much. This set probably would have worked halfway decently when they first got it, and then you could have just replaced one cap at a time, and if everything went to hell in a handbasket, you'd know where to look. Anyway, that's all for now.